Okay, so the following slide, when you click over to it, is going to show you two different common rubrics. These are screenshots of rubrics that I use in my classroom. I've probably created, I don't know, 50 different rubrics because we do a lot of writing, but all of them predominantly use the same language, which is just the language of the writing traits, and kind of look the same in terms of style. Why I think this is important is because you don't want to surprise your students, okay? If they are going to be assessed like they would be on a test, then there really shouldn't be any like zingers that you're throwing at them when it comes to the rubric. Also, if you're constantly talking about the traits, teaching to the traits, reinforcing the traits, seeing the traits on the rubric is going to just make sense to them when they're looking at their final assessment and their grade. So, there's one rubric that I'm providing you with on the next slide, and it's called Inform and Explain Dear New Blank rubric. So that was kind of like the topic, the purpose that we were writing for. And you'll see that I don't always include all of the traits. Some papers I might specifically just be looking for 4. Like I want to see that you really did well with voice, word choice, presentation, and organization. And then sometimes I'll use all of the traits. Sometimes I'll use all 7 of them, depending on the length or formality of the paper. But on both of my rubrics that I provided for you, you can see how I sometimes mesh 2 traits together if it's going to work that way for that purpose. So on common rubric number 1, the Inform and Explain rubric, I actually put organization and ideas together. And then on the common rubric for the Inquire and Explore research paper, I put conventions and sentence fluency together. So kind of look at those, see the language that I use, see the points that I assign for each trait. You'll always see that presentation is by far the least amount of points if I am even grading or assessing presentation in that particular rubric. And, you know, your bulkier points are coming from ideas, organization, and voice most of the time. But sometimes it's okay for traits to be awarded the same amount of points depending on the assignment. Assignments at the beginning of the year, I kind of make them more equal. I want conventions to count just as much as I want organization to count because I want you to start capitalizing your sentences and putting periods at the end of them. So I'm going to make it worth it for you to do that by awarding you points there. And then as time goes on, I might decide to make something weigh a little bit heavier or less. So this brings us to the end of this presentation. I hope you understand all the different traits, how you can use them in your mini lessons, how you can encourage students to kind of focus on the traits when they're writing independently during the workshop, and then also how you can use the traits for student assessment of finalized published pieces. So thanks, and I will see you at presentation number 3.